Welcome back to another episode of the Fourth and a Mile podcast. I'm Nicholas Elliott alongside JD Zasa. We're here recording the NFL edition, recapping week 2 and previewing week 3. How you doing today, JD?
I'm doing good, man. How about you?
Doing great. Ready to talk some football.
I'm ready to talk NFL football.
Let's head into some big headlines. Why don't we? Let's get started with Christian McCaffrey going on the IR. What did you think of that news when you saw it?
I mean, what does anyone know like how he injured it? Did he injure it during practice or I mean, it sucks for my fantasy team because I had him 1-on-1,
It
but
sucks for everybody's fantasy team.
yeah. Do we know if he got injured during preseason training camp? What?
I'm not sure. I mean, I would guess maybe it's just something that's been lingering because I'm pretty sure he's been playing through injury last year. So maybe it's just been something that's been lingering. With how many touches he gets, he's definitely been dinged up all last year.
Yeah. I mean, and I think the 49ers are doing okay right now. They'd obviously love to have him, but Jordan Mason's not a bad replacement.
Yeah, I mean, they coming off a loss against the Vikings, which was kind of surprising. But said I have something quick that I saw. Supposedly Jordan Love is practicing. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, I want to see Malik Willis get a chance to play against his former team, but
I don't think he should play. Just
yeah, me too.
healthy. Like they'll need Jordan for the rest of the season because I think they'll probably make the playoffs. And I think right now would not be the best time to bring him back.
Yeah. Let's head into a controversial topic. I know you want to dive into it a little deeper. Is Panthers head coach Dave Canales announced on Monday that he was benching Bryce Young. Let's hear your rant on this, JD.
Okay. Panthers, I despise you now. I had nothing against you before. Now I think I hate you. Look, what have you done to one of the most talented quarterbacks I've ever seen? And one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen play at Alabama. I was at I was at Alabama. I've been at Alabama since 2020. So I got to see his first throw to Devontae Smith. I got to see the entirety of Bryce Young's career. Incredible. Carried some teams that probably should have been like eight, should have won like 9 or 8 games to national championships. He goes one and goes to the Panthers, and they've completely ruined him. His best receivers Adam Thielen, past his prime Adam Thielen. He has no offensive line, and he has no confidence. Like I feel terrible for him. And now everyone thinks, oh, you should have picked CJ Stroud over Bryce Young because CJ Stroud's doing good with Houston. Guys, CJ Stroud would have also been pretty shit, or with the pretty bad with the Panthers. I don't think there's any player that can save this team. It
Yeah,
just sucks. It just sucks.
it's a bad scheme around him,
I
and
need
his health is
trade.
short.
Get him out of here. Get him out of Carolina. Send him to a real team.
Yeah, he did. Well, Dave Canales announced today that they were not going to trade him. So
I don't care. Trade him.
another thing is Bryce is short. I mean, he's like not the tallest quarterback, but
That doesn't
to
matter.
help that his offensive line can't block, but everybody compares him
Really
to
matter because
McCaffrey.
he still throws right down the middle.
Yeah, I
There's
mean,
4 quarterbacks that work in this league: Kyler Murray, Drew Brees.
yeah, I would
I,
compare more to Drew Brees. He's not very quick like Kyler Murray, more so of a
I
pocket.
agree, but he would work. He does work. Just put some sort of
Yeah,
offense around him, and the
yeah,
Carolina's not doing that, and I'm disappointed.
yeah. AJ Brown. Another news is AJ Brown hamstring is going to miss a couple weeks, which I mean the Eagles did not look good. We'll get into that game in a little bit, but that's Jalen Hurts' guy right there. I mean, him and Devontae have a great connection, but Jalen and AJ Brown. I mean, what do you think?
They need The Eagles need that deep ball threat, and he's that.
Yeah.
You could tell during the Falcons game that they did not respect anyone else up top. So Eagles, just you got to figure out some guy that can go deep, a deep threat before while AJ's out. And in other news, Isaiah Pacheco is out for 6 to 8 weeks. He had successful surgery recently on his fibula. What do you think of this?
Uh, I mean, they signed Kareem Hunt. I mean, I think they're gonna start feeding Carson Steele more, which is he looks pretty good for the Chiefs as a short yard back, and I feel like they can make him dynamic out of the backfield passing game wise. But Isaiah Pacheco just goes into a different gear that you can't really replicate at running back. Especially Kareem Hunt's not going to do that, especially how old he is now. But they're gonna miss him. He's gonna be missed in some games, but I mean, they're the Chiefs. They're a machine at this point. They'll be fine.
I think it's going to hurt a little bit in the run game.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt in the run game, but passing game, they'll be fine. And also, Cooper Kupp expected to miss period of time with an ankle injury that happened against the Cardinals in a 41-10 loss. I mean, Rams are just building up a hospital right now. Cooper
Yeah,
Kupp,
and they can't stop the
Puka
run.
Nakua.
Can't
Yeah,
stop the run. They're injured on offense. They're not running the ball well. It's a bad situation in Los Angeles right now. And
yeah.
this is what happens when you
Sacrifice everything for a
have
Super
10
Bowl.
picks for the Super Bowl. That's what happens. Depth.
Hey, it's well worth it. At least they won a ring out of it.
Yeah,
But
more than some franchises can say.
the NFL in general, I mean, if we can right just wrap up this segment, it's just
A fair point.
so many injuries now. Did you see like there was like a graphic and it was like week one injuries is like this, week two injuries, it's like a whole like
Yeah, we had a border. We had like a border from Brady's time ending. We have 1 year of new blood, and then it's Mahomes era.
yeah,
We had 1 year of no Mahomes, no Brady in the Super Bowl.
yep. Now everybody has a ton of injuries in the league. Not good for fantasy owners. Don't you just want to cover your ears and hope your team's healthy? My team's healthy right now. I mean, I know.
Mine's getting healthy. Like Love should be coming back soon. It's just McCaffrey, but they've got Derrick Henry and Jordan Mason for the 49ers, so I'm doing all right.
Yeah, you should be good. Let's recap these games. Let's start with the afternoon game on Sunday, which was another classic between these two teams. Bengals falling short of the Chiefs, with the Chiefs going with a minute drive down the field. Mahomes magic per usual. Let's head into the controversial call real quick and see what you think, and then we can hit the game as a whole.
I want your opinion after me, but it wasn't a P. It wasn't. It was so a PI. I'm sorry, Cincinnati, but that was a
Yeah.
PI. He was there super early. And also Cincinnati, if you really wanted to win that game, you had the ball, about 5 minutes left. You pick up a first down. You pick up a first down. That's what good teams do, run up the clock. You couldn't do that. You had to punt the ball to the Chiefs. And Mahomes does.
Magic.
Mahomes.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Bucker
That was
and Bucker's Bucker.
yeah.
Six.
Bucker didn't sign that big deal for no reason.
No, I mean, there's a reason they gave him all that money because he is automatic in game-winning field goal situations.
My take on that call, it was the correct call. You can't really. He was there. You they would he uh showed the replay bit by bit, and it was literally like he was there like
That's
1 second early, and I was like, yeah, you can't fault him for that. That's
that's
a
tech, that's
auto PI.
that's textbook definition of pass interference in a nutshell.
And I mean, the Bengals fans can't be complaining when the play earlier they got a big play and then it got called back for hands in the face.
Yeah, and it's like, but again, Cincinnati, I'm sorry, but you should have beat them.
Yeah, as a
Not
whole,
one
they played
call is
really
gonna
good.
help. Not one call is going to help Cincinnati here for winning that game. To
A
play.
win.
They needed to play better than they did, and they just didn't. Like Jamar Chase didn't play well. Burrow played good, but they need other guys to beat the Chiefs. You have to play your best game against the Chiefs. Or do
Another
you,
year, another year, another year for the Bengals starting 0-2.
yeah, it's like,
Can't get off to a quick start. They got a big game Monday night against
yeah, like, but
Commanders.
here's the thing. Here's the thing that they figure it out. That's
They'll go
the,
on like a 5-game phantom winning streak.
they'll go on like a 6 game, like 6, 7 game winning streak. Lose to someone you wouldn't expect them to lose to. It's the Bengals.
How about this happened a couple times, but we can get it because it happened in this game as well with the hip drop tackle call that Jamar Chase was complaining about. He was yelling at the refs, and then he got flagged, and it would have been like a third and short, and then they lost the down, so it was like third, and they didn't get to replay the down, so it was like third and like 20, and then they had to
Yeah.
punt, and that was in the fourth quarter too. So it's like
But
can't.
do you know what this hip drop penalty kind of feels like? The pass interference review. Remember after the Saints Rams game, which I mean hurt both of us. They decided for 1 year, hey, if you want to review pass interference, you can. And everyone thought it was a big deal, but it really wasn't. It kind of feels like this with hip drop tackles, where it's like people complain, like, oh, how are you gonna tackle? Everyone's tackling fine. I mean,
Yeah,
and they're not really calling it.
yeah, exactly. But I thought Burrow played good. He was throwing to it seemed like he only threw it to like two or three receivers, and he threw it to like four different tight ends. It was kind of a funny, but
Yeah.
he still played good. That was a big bounce back game for him, even though they didn't get the win. So that should give him some confidence moving forward.
Mhm.
Chiefs, just keep doing your thing. I mean, their defense looks incredible right now. Their
It's
defensive line with Chris Jones.
Magnolia is one of the best defensive coordinators of all time. Their defense looks great. They're good. Like, what else is there to say about the Chiefs? They're going to be primed for the three-peat.
Yeah. Let's head into the Sunday night game. Speaking
Oh
Bears
boy. Oh
19.
boy.
I think it was a
Oh
19
boy.
and 10 game.
It
Texans, 19 and 10 doesn't really say the whole thing about this game. I mean, Texans dominated. Bears kind of had some life. It was the longest third quarter ever. And
it's
then
like
you
I
have,
think I saw it. It was like 55 minutes for a third quarter.
yeah, that's terrible. But Caleb Williams' offensive line is just terrible.
The okay, everything on the Bears offense is bad. Like they have
Yeah.
players, it's just the play calling's bad, the development's bad, the everything's just
You
bad.
want to know what perfect comparison to that is?
What is that?
It's when you have like a motor home or like a trailer park, and then you have like a Ferrari parked next to the house.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah. Because they have all these new shiny toys and they don't have an offensive line. If you don't have an offensive line that can't protect your shiny toys or get your shiny toys the ball, well, they're not going to do anything. They're just going to be sitting
Yeah,
down in your closet.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, what are you supposed to do? I mean, Texans didn't even play great. They played fine. I mean, it's the Bears defense. It's really good, but
Yeah, they look
playing
good.
great. They just didn't F up.
Exactly.
As simple as that. They didn't F up.
Yeah. I mean, how about man, what's that receiver's name who had a big game?
Nico,
Nico, yep.
Nico
Nico
Collins.
Collins, him and CJ Stroud have just an unbelievable connection. Stephon Diggs hasn't really gotten going yet. He needs to, it seems like Stroud
Um,
gives it to one guy, and that guy will have a big game. It'll either be
there's so
Collins,
many
Tank
weapons.
Dell, Diggs. Joe Mixon's been looking good, but I think he
There's so many weapons in Houston. Like you're not
got
gonna.
injured.
I never really expected Diggs to have like a great game. It's just yeah,
Yeah.
it's like if so many weapons. That offense is
Derek
scary.
Stingley got a pick. All in all, the Bears, they just got to fix their
They got to
offensive
fix that.
line somehow.
It's bad. Like
I
Will
mean, scheme
Anderson,
around it.
Will Anderson, that defensive line beasted, and it was
Yep. It's
just
not like they were It's not like they were doing anything. It's more so they were just bull rushing at the line. I saw a clip and it was they were just
it's
bull
like
rushing. The lineman couldn't even move his feet quick enough to.
it's like you have everything going, but then one thing goes wrong. Like Bears can they can never have like everything go right. They're like one of those franchises where it's like can we have one thing go right? Like everything go right for like a season?
Yeah. Falcons at Eagles Monday night game. This is actually a really good game with a
This
ton
was the
of
best. This was, in my opinion, the best game. I like this
yeah,
more.
this was yeah, definitely. What'd you think about the game?
Great game. Just great game. Kirk Cousins looked a lot better. Kirk Cousins looked a lot better. He's using his weapons, which is more you can say. They have serviceable quarterback play. Um, the Falcons pass defense is really good. Like I wouldn't say the run defense is great, and their pass rush isn't great either, but their
They
pass
got guys who can make plays.
but for the Eagles, it's just a missed opportunity. Like this is one of those games the Eagles will look back in January going, well, as they fight for the one seed, they're like, dang, we should have beat the
I
Falcons.
mean, all that needed to happen was Saquon Barkley to make that catch out of the backfield.
And it's not even that. Like, if you do
And they
that,
just
that's fine. Why not tush push it twice? Or, I mean,
yeah.
it worked. It just dropped it. But the thing I'm more worried about as the Eagles is your pass defense still sucks. Your team
Why did they drop it? They what do you what, we were on the phone for this last drive. And every time you would point out to me, they were dropping in coverage every time, and they was letting the Falcons get free
oh, they're
first.
dropping,
Just drove down the
they're
field.
playing underneath. They were playing underneath with a cover with like a cover two man. I'm like, they're playing cover two. So they left the corners. They didn't even play quarters. Like
Yeah,
I was surprised they didn't play because if you play quarters, then you stop the corners. And that's what you knew Atlanta was doing because they didn't have many timeouts. I think they had one or zero.
I think I'm pretty sure they had zero.
Yeah, maybe. But Cousins looked great.
Bijan
Eagles,
looked good.
Eagles, it's a missed opportunity by the Eagles. That's just
Yeah,
in
that's
conclusion, missed opportunity. Saquon, I feel bad, but you gotta you gotta
gotta
catch.
catch that.
And the
I
Eagles
agree.
had
I would
like a
agree with you on that.
99.3% chance of winning it. It was crazy.
Uh,
I was just in shock, to be honest. I was in shock after the game. I was like,
Falcons needed this game
oh,
back because
because that's a Falcons loss. That's like a Falcons way to lose. That's such a Falcons way to lose. But then it's the Eagles. You're like, Philadelphia, what the heck are you doing?
yeah, I just think this is the game that the Falcons needed badly because you got coming up, you have the Chiefs coming into town, and that's not going to be easy at all. You could have very well started 0-3, and then
Yeah.
you would have had your first divisional game the week after against the Saints coming into town. So it was like you just you could have started 0-4, 0-3. I mean, now at least you have one win, so at least you can build some confidence. Maybe they can beat the Chiefs. I mean, we'll preview that game in just a minute. How about we head into that game?
All right, let's
Chiefs
end the game.
Falcons Sunday night. It's probably going to be I mean, as the Steelers fans took over that stadium, I wouldn't be shocked if Chiefs fans probably take over that stadium.
We'll see. I mean, there's
Maybe
a
Falcons fans will show up after that win. Hopefully they do. They need to bring that atmosphere back.
yeah. I think the Falcons match up decently with this team. I don't think it's that bad of a matchup. I offensive line's really good for the Falcons. Pass defense looks really good for the Falcons. I think they can keep this close. I think it's gonna be a really good game. Like without Pacheco, I'm like, wait a minute. I kind of like some of the matchups for Atlanta. I don't love it. I like it. And
I want
I'm
this.
more excited for this game after watching Monday Night Football and watching Kirk Cousins get more comfortable with that offense, and that offense got a little more chemistry.
Yeah, I agree. Especially the one person who needs to get going, who has not really had done anything all the first two games, is Travis Kelce. He is not. I have not heard his name. I've been watching the games, the Chiefs games. I watched both of them, and you just don't hear his name called like two or three times. He just didn't.
This is
He needs to get going. This is the game right here where he gets
a
going.
game. This is a game where he has to show up because the Falcons linebackers are not great. They're not with the strength of that team. Kelsey should have a really big game.
Yeah, I agree. Especially they're not going to have Pacheco, so they may not run the ball as much, or they're running. They might be set further behind the chains because their running game may not be as good because you don't have that quickness of and the shiftiness of Pacheco. But Falcons, it'll be a close game. I think the Falcons could pull this off.
Who do you
Hopefully
think
not
the
as a Saints
key,
fan, but
who do you think the key to this game is? What do you think the key of the game is? How do the Falcons win? Imagine in your
off the
head,
field, get off the field on third down. Don't let Mahomes cook you up. Don't let him get out of the pocket. And if you
yeah,
have a chance for a sack, you cannot whiff on sacks. I mean, Judon, could be a game for Judon to make his Atlanta Falcons presence known.
I think it's Bijan. I think Bijan's gonna have to have a big game for Atlanta
Also, that if they need to try and play
because
tempo,
I think the Falcons can match up like I truly do think they can match up like man for man with the Chiefs. The Chiefs have a really good front seven. Falcons have a really good offensive line.
I think as a whole, the Falcons just need to play possession, just like slow the tempo down. Don't give enough time to where the Chiefs can just,
And I like your point where it contain Mahomes because that's where he cooks you. And that's
especially
where that speed cooks you.
if he gives out of the pocket, all the receivers have can see him. The DBs are behind. They don't see that he's moving, so the receivers have better chances to get open. That's where he makes his the most of his money right there is either that and he's still got some wheels on him too.
Yeah.
Another interesting game. We'll go back to the two noon. Pretty sure both of these games are at noon on Sunday. And the Thursday night game and the Monday night games for this week are very, very bad.
They're not
Well,
great. I mean, we'll go into it in predictions, but yeah,
not good. They kind of whiffed on those.
not a great prime time this week.
Texans at Vikings. This is an interesting game for two and O teams. Vikings coming off a big win against the Niners at home. Sam Darnold against his former team.
Their defense is Vikings defense is incredible.
Yeah,
Brian,
Brian Flores.
welcome back, Brian Flores to the NFL world. What a statement! Like you beat the 49ers with Sam Darnold. And
Look,
Sam
man,
Darnold himself, he's looked good. Like
a
not bad.
99-yard touchdown or 90 is either 98 or 99-yard touchdown to Justin Jefferson.
But yeah, the impressed. Like this game is going to be interesting because it's weakness on weakness and strength on strength. Weakness where it's like Texans defense versus the Vikings offense. But strength on strength is the Vikings defense versus the offense of the Texans. But I think a key player in this game will be two former Minnesota Vikings. Diggs, I think, is going to have a really big game. And I think the guy who's really going to have a big game is Daniil Hunter.
Yeah.
I think he'll have a really, really nice game.
Yeah. Daniil Hunter, he's on the Texans right now, isn't
Yeah.
he?
Yeah,
Yeah, he had a couple I saw him get a couple sacks.
he's on the other side of Will Anderson.
Yeah, that's a scary duo. I g- it's kind of interesting to see how Stefanski's doing a good job with the quarterbacks. I mean, as a whole, he's a good offensive mind. I just
O'Connell.
miss O'Connell, yeah. Wrong teams. Stefanski, he needs to figure it out.
Yep.
They got to win at least with the Browns, but O'Connell, yeah, O'Connell is a good. It's kind of interesting if Darnold has a big year, then he might be the name the starter now, and JJ McCarthy just had to ride him on the bench. Kind of interesting.
Ain't
He
happening.
could have his Sam Darnold. This could be his Baker Mayfield like turnaround.
They're not. They're McCarthy's the future.
I don't know. No, not what I saw in the summer.
He's the future. That's what it is. But this game, they're very interesting. I'm mad that I'm not going to be able to watch this game because I don't have Sunday Ticker Red Zone. If I really want to, I'll go to a bar to watch it, but we'll see. Uh, I think it's going to come down to. I think CJ Stroud's the bet. I think the Texans are the better team.
Yeah, this would be a
Like
cool. I mean, that's what it was last week though. They played the Niners and the Vikings won.
It's gonna be
We'll
close.
see though.
It's gonna be close.
But this is another disgusting game. I mean, if I think Herbert's playing or not, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's playing. I'm pretty sure he returned to practice today,
Okay, he's fine.
and they're heading into the Steel City to play against the Steelers. Well, Steelers got to win, and I had to watch this game because I had the Steelers in my Survivor League,
Yeah.
but there was a nasty 13-6 win over the terrible Broncos. But this game could be very interesting. Justin Fields is, I mean, he hasn't looked bad, but he hasn't looked good. He's just
Fine.
meh. Yeah, exactly.
Doing the job.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you need to do. This is how the Steelers they win games the ugly way. They play really good defense and just score when they need to.
Did Pittsburgh score a touchdown? And if so, who?
Darnell Washington.
Oh yeah, that little out route.
Yeah, that was
So
their only. They had like two touchdowns called back though. They had George Pickens had like two long catches. I think he had one for a touchdown that got called back, and then another that was like a 70 yard, like a 60 yard catch that was in the goal line. Both got called back. Offensive line's got to clean it up, but their running game's good. Jalen Warren,
yeah,
Najee Harris, that's a good horse right there.
their offensive line has looked really good. Yeah,
TJ Watts,
TJ Watt.
yeah,
But going to the Chargers side, lost Chargers fans. How nice is it to have a coach, to actually have a coach that knows how to clock manage? Because you're 2-0 right now. Granted, you've played the Raiders and the Panthers. The Panthers are not great. The Raiders, you could have lost the game, but you played good. J.K. Dobbins, though, comeback player of the year nominee, probably. That
yeah.
guy's
He had a huge
incredible.
game.
But for this game, I think we both think it's going to be just an ugly fist fight because Chargers are built now. The Chargers are built now to be
Like a grinded out, like a
pound and
Michigan
pound
type of
team. Like
game. Yeah,
Joe Alt in his first 3 weeks in the NFL has already gone up against. He's going to be going up against TJ Watt this week. He went up against I don't know for the Panthers, and then he went up against
Max
Matt.
Crosby.
He's going up against two of the best edge rushers in the NFL.
Yeah, that's a big matchup right there. Steelers could be 3-0, and they could be right on top of the that division right there. That's an
Where
interesting division.
where is this game?
It's in Pittsburgh, so
Okay.
they
I
should.
think I think the difference in the game though will come down to the quarterback, and I think Herbert will make a throw.
Yeah, Herbert's not really been like throwing it because they've just been giving it to Dobbins and Edwards and
Yeah. But I think Herbert makes a throw to like the Quentin Johnson, I believe, to kind of open up the game. But we'll see.
let's head into the State of the Union where we talk about our teams. I'm a Saints fan. JD is a Cowboys fan. Let's head straight into the recap of our two teams matching up. We'll each go from our specific team side. We'll start off with the losing side. JD, what did
Uh, oh God. It was bad, man. Yeah, that was embarrassing. Our last home game was the Packers game. This was the exact same script. The offense looked fine. I mean, they drove down the field few times and kicked field goals. Fine. You would like to get a touchdown, but it is what it is. The defense, where the hell was my defense? It was
yeah.
a putrid game. Embarrassing. And this is the reason why I was hesitant last week. I was hesitant last week when after the Cleveland game where I'm like, it's 1 week, guys. It's the Cowboys. We're something will go on. I just didn't think it'd be this early.
Yeah.
Yeah, embarrassing. But it's what I expected. That's why I took out my heart, my Cowboys heart, where it's like, I expect these things. That's what the Packers game did to me. It broke me as a Cowboys fan. It's like, I'm never giving this team the benefit of the doubt anymore. Never again, because they broke my heart too many times. Nick, on a more positive side,
Yeah, on a more positive side, when he scored 91 points in 2 games, you can't really fault the offense for anything. Scored on our first 5 drives again. I mean, Derek Carr is looking great. I mean, he threw 1 pick, but I mean, like if you throw 1 pick and you're up by a lot, then it really doesn't matter. But an absolute bomb with 2 safeties up the top to Shaheed to get the second drive, second score of the game. That was an absolute bomb. It was a great throw. I mean, even better for Shaheed to run through to get there.
yeah,
Shout
but
out the offensive line on that too.
he completely split the safeties. Was awesome.
Yeah, he was good. And it seemed like every time we were in play action, there was always somebody open either in the middle of the field or somewhere. Olave was always open. Kamara had freaking 4 touchdowns. I mean,
Again, it was just I've never seen anything like it from
I haven't either.
like that effortlessly. Like even the Packers, it took him some effort to drive down the field. That was effortlessly.
Yeah, and it helps when you have a good run game and you're setting second and third and short.
Yeah.
And every
What
time
what is
we had like no third down and longs.
what is it with what is it with Alvin Kamara against
Mike Zimmer.
Mike Zimmer? The Christmas game a few years ago, and now this one.
He's got at least like he had 5 touchdowns in that game, 4 touchdowns in that game. Pretty sure he has like 11 or 12.
Six in the Christmas game.
6. Yeah, it is insane. Help my fantasy team.
Oh, I
But
bet.
defense looked pretty good. If you can hold a team like that to field goals in the red zone, that'll win you ball games. Like I'm not the tackling on that CD Lamb one, you probably should have tackled him, but force some turnovers again. Can't complain. I mean, I'm not going to complain when you're forcing a good offense to kick field goals in the red zone. So you
Oh, I
won't have
agree.
any complaints. But now my expectations are pretty high for this team, even though I was only going into the season, probably they were only going to win 9 or 8 games. Now I'm probably thinking that they could win, maybe add another game or two, maybe even 3. I'm thinking anywhere from 10 to 12 now,
What are
which
your win expectations right now?
they should go 10 and at worst 10-7, at best 12-5.
At worst, 12-5.
No, at worst 10-7.
All right. I think best case scenario 11-6. Worst case scenario 8-9. But I think we'll be
A
9.
good
We'll be 9-8, 10-7. I don't know which one. It's just one of the two.
look, 2 things that always travel in road games: a good defense, the Saints have that, and a run game, and the Saints
Yeah,
have had that
I
for the
agree.
first 2 games.
Do you want to head into your game? You guys are playing the Eagles this week in
Yeah,
New
I would.
Orleans.
It is in New Orleans. The dome. I saw ticket prices are like $200 and $300 just to get in the door. So
Yeesh.
that's a hefty price to get into that game, and that's before fees. So add that up, it's
That's
probably
insane.
yeah. The Saints are back.
But I mean, do you think I think the Eagles could easily win this game? Like, not
Yeah,
even saying anything bad about the Saints. I'm just going, the Eagles have could win this game, but no one's been able to stop Clint Kubiak's offense.
yeah,
Their defense is really good, and I think are you guys getting Marshawn Lattimore back?
yeah. He was seen in practice during the media portion of the practice today, so probably on track to give it a go.
That's good.
Even then, I'm not too worried. Even if he doesn't play, because Kool-Aid still he looked good when
Oh yeah.
he was in. But I think the big key for this game is stopping Jalen Hurts, not letting him not getting off the field on third down. Don't set up tush push opportunities or anything.
Hmm.
It's just getting stops. I mean, it helps not having AJ Brown. It's another one less good receiver to target. But I would have liked that the Eagles are coming off a win. Now they're going to be. I mean, it's not really going to change much, but they could be a little hungrier. And the Saints have all this rat poison now.
Yeah, I mean, how
The
how do they deal with that? I don't know, but it's gonna be this is my probably my most anticipated game of the week, just because I don't because both teams are these are two teams I'm decently high on. I'm
Well,
really high
the
now
first
on
2 weeks, yeah.
I'm really high on the Saints, and I've always been really high on the Eagles. So very excited. And I think we'll make predictions a little later in the show.
Yeah. I think at least the Saints just need to continue scoring. I mean,
Did you pick up an agility ladder?
Yeah, my bad.
you're good. Just keep scoring. I mean, they can't stop you if you just keep putting up points. I mean, want to see if the offensive line keeps doing good because they're going against a good pass rush. I mean, Trevor Penning has looked surprisingly good so far. I mean, no complaints from me about the offensive line. They've looked good.
Yeah,
And that was another key.
I do think though there is one issue with one thing I'm really worried about with the Saints is there is the how much they'll call holding because there were some times that I thought they probably could have called something. It wasn't a ton. I'm just saying
Yeah,
could be an issue.
we'll see. I feel like holding is like one of those penalties that you could literally have every single play, but they just don't call it half the time.
Probably,
It's probably like the most common like missed call in football is probably a holding.
definitely.
But I mean, if we're going on the scale of 1 to 10, I'm probably about like an 8. And what are you at with the Cowboys?
A four. We're playing the Ravens. An
Yeah. Oh,
Ravens.
and 2 Ravens.
An angry Ravens team.
Yeah, let's head into that game. What do you think? Like, what's the big keys for your Cowboys?
Fix the run defense. Like Derrick Henry, we could have had Derrick Henry because he lives here in Dallas in the offseason. But no, I am really afraid of they'll probably watch what they probably saw what New Orleans did and go, oh, we can do that with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I think the main problem with
That's
the Cowboys,
the Cowboys is their pass defense. It is their pass defense, but they can't stop the run. And then the I think it's gonna be Dak and CD carrying the it's just gonna be they're gonna have to get into a shootout.
I think another thing with the Cowboys that they always seem to struggle with certain teams, it's always the Shanahan teams that they always the motion offenses and everything. That's the only thing that they
I
struggle
don't
with.
remember the last time we beat a Shanahan team.
Or a Shanahan coaching tree team.
Yeah, honestly. I don't know. I mean,
This is both teams need this win bad. I mean, probably the Ravens need it more.
Ravens definitely need it more because they're in
The
the
AFC, yeah.
fourth. At least Dallas will get probably 2 wins against the Giants and 2 wins against Commanders, but they could really use this win.
Especially at home, especially after the goose egg performance last week. But I think Dak just needs he didn't even play bad, so last week
Yeah,
he
the
just had
offense
a
didn't. I
mistake or
have
two.
no complaint. I really don't have any complaints with the offense. His interception was because his receiver slipped. Our fourth string like
Yeah.
slipped. I have nothing against the offense. It's the defense. Like how serious is this Cowboys team? Do you want to change the narrative, or is Jerry filling in rat poison, going, "Oh, we're gonna win Super Bowl six, even though you haven't done shit in 30 years"?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's an interesting game. Those are like two bit this is actually a pretty good slate, except for all the primetime games are trash, but Sunday should be a good day. I
I'm
mean,
excited.
Monday and Thursday shouldn't be. Maybe we'll get surprised and get good games, but
I think Thursday will be fun and close. I just don't know if it's going to be inter.
excited. Yeah. Let's head into that to our rapid fire picks. JD is 18 and 12 with the 1 game lead over me, and I'm 17 and 13. We both had decent weeks last week. We didn't do too well. Pretty sure we tied.
We tied, like
Yeah.
not awful, not great either.
Yeah, it was just meh.
I mean, it
Have a
could.
bad week because a lot of the underdogs were winning and a lot of like weird teams. But let's head straight into the picks. Patriots coming off of an overtime loss, heading into MetLife Stadium for Aaron Rodgers' first home game, second home game. First, hopefully he gets a full home game. Knock on wood. On
Hate
Amazon Prime, it's M15. Who do you got in this game?
Give me the Jets.
Jets,
Uh,
yeah,
I like I think Quinn Williams is going to have a big day against because I think that's the way New England wins games.
running the ball.
Quinn Williams will have a big day.
I think that week one they always struggled with the run. The Jets did stopping the run, and that's going to be a big key because Ramondre Stevenson's had really two really good games so far. And if the Jets can't get off to a quick start, if they don't play from ahead and allow the Patriots to play from behind, then the Patriots will not be able to use Ramondre as much.
But they did great against Tennessee.
Yeah, but Tennessee doesn't really have like a good running. I have to Tony Power. Tony Power is not very good between the time. They're both good and like catching it and out of the backfield and whatnot.
Yeah, all right.
What's that into Eagles Saints? Who you got?
Who'd you pick for the who'd
I
you
got
pick?
Jets.
Jets? All right. The Eagles Saints.
Saints, of course. Can't pick against a team. Yeah, your Super Bowl winning Eagles.
I'm picking the Eagles.
Yeah, it'll be a good
I
game.
I think this is my 50-50 game of the week.
Hey, you got to gain some.
But
You got to gain your lead on me.
I just think Philadelphia is going to be more ready.
Hungry.
I think they're going to be ready to go. I
Can't blame you.
don't know why. I just think they're going to be ready to go.
We'll see. That dome's gonna be rocking. I can guarantee you that.
Definitely.
Chargers heading into the Steelers. It'll be
Oh,
on CBS at noon. 2-2-0 teams. I'm a. We previewed this game. I'm gonna stick with the Steelers, man. I just
Steelers.
love that defense. I think that they can really stop the run. It'll be
I
an
th
interesting matchup, like you said in the preview, with Joe Alt versus TJ Watt, who wins that matchup, and if Justin Fields can, if they can get in the end zone.
I think I think it will come down to who can throw the ball better. I got the Chargers.
Alrighty, another 2-0 battle. We previewed this game as well. Texans heading into Minnesota, face off against the Vikings. Who do you got?
Minnesota, great team, but Houston's too much. They're just the more
Yeah,
complete the Texans.
I'm gonna agree with you on that one. I'm gonna take the Texans as well, and I think this is actually a big letdown spot for the Vikings. They get all their fans excited and everything, and it's just gonna be they're just gonna let down, and the Texans are gonna win by two possessions, and the Vikings are gonna be back to square one on fans are gonna be back to square one on tempering their expectations.
We'll keep this one next one clip. We'll keep this next one quick, unless you have
Yeah.
something to say. Broncos, Bucks.
Bucks. The Bucks have looked really good in the first 2 weeks.
Bucks are a Bucks.
Scary team.
The Bucks and the Saints have both looked really good. Like, so is the NFC South like underrated?
Might be. I mean, Todd Boyle. I was always like questionable of Todd Boyles as a head coach, but he's actually done a really good
I
job.
too. I still am like I don't love Todd Bowles as the head coach because like this is the team I'd probably pick if I wasn't a Cowboys fan. But like
I love Baker. He's a good quarterback,
yeah, Baker's great.
and he's a dad now, so he's got that.
Good for them. Packers Titans.
This is a nasty game. I go Packers. Malik
Packers.
Willis revenge. Will Levis just. You see that photo of him like in the air, like diving? Calvin Ridley had an insane catch on Sunday.
Hmm.
They still lost the game, but
I got the Packers. I called
it's
it
gonna be a
last.
boring
I
game.
called it. I called it last week, but Josh Jacobs will have another really nice day in Tennessee.
Yeah, this will be a boring game. Not if you like watching good quarterbacks play, and if Jordan Love's not playing, go ahead and just don't watch this game.
Plus, I mean, the Titans could win this game. Would not be surprised on that, but we'll see.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Oh, another sucky quarterback game. Browns, Browns, Giants. Ugh,
I'm gonna give me the Browns. The Browns actually looked somewhat good. Looked
Brown,
good against the
Brown.
Jags last week. Look, the Giants, I was watching that game. Graham Gano was injured and they didn't recall a kicker. So they literally had to use a punter as a kicker and they kicked once and they missed the PAT. So every time they got down the end zone, they had to go for two every time. But
That's
a quick shout out to Malik Neighbors. He had himself a game, his first 100-yard
yeah,
game.
he's still a problem.
Yeah. And every time I was watching the game, Daniel Jones, every time he threw it, it was only to him. And he
Yeah.
was open every single time. So that might be, I think he's not gonna be as open this week because he'll actually be playing against a good Browns secondary. But that'll be the difference with the Browns secondary and bad Giants offense, defense. Maybe Deshaun Watson has a good game.
Yeah. Do you want to do the next game?
Yeah, Bears heading into the Colts. I'm gonna take the Colts here. They need to get a win on the board. I think they're gonna get a win here.
Give me the Bears. Their defense is better, and I think they'll figure it out on offense. They'll make an offense.
Look, Caleb Williams at least will be in better shape because he won't have DeForest Buckner chasing him. Because I think DeForest Buckner's on the IR,
Yeah.
so I
Panthers,
believe it's a
Raiders.
big loss. Yeah, nasty game. Big win for the Raiders last week. Give me the Raiders. Brock Bowers had himself a very good game.
I got the Raiders.
Funny enough, I was listening. I saw a clip it was with Devontae Adams and Gronk, and they compared Brock Bowers to Gronk, but better as a receiving tight end than more so of a
Yeah.
walking.
This next game, I thought we might have previewed, but due to circumstances, it didn't turn out to be. Dolphins, Seahawks.
Skylar Thompson is not going to help. Give me the Seahawks. Gina has actually looked pretty good through these first 2 weeks with
Their
Ryan Grubb.
defense is really good. Seahawks. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
you when you got Mike McDonald as your head coach.
All right. Ravens heading into
Cowboys.
Cowboys, another Tom Brady game. Give me, gosh. Do I want to take Lamar? Lamar needs his win bad, but I'm a back your team up here. I'm gonna take the Cowboys. Both teams need it bad, but gosh,
Do I do it?
where do you think the Ravens playoff chances would be if they lose this game? Like
Very, very, very
not
well,
really very because they could go on a run, but like
very, very.
hard.
I do not think they'll win the North if they lose. Well,
Yeah, I think this is their North chances on the line. Oh, I mean, I guess not because everybody's in in the division now is sucking.
we're the only team that has like a legitimate chance.
Yeah.
Currently the Ravens are a 1 point favorite, so it's pretty much divisive anyway. Uh, let me see.
Hey, maybe if you take the Ravens and the Cowboys win, you can be a jinx.
I'm gonna go with my gut. I think the Ravens win.
Maybe your gut's wrong and your team wins. It's a
I
happiness
would
either
hope.
way.
I would hope so. I would hope so. I'd hope so. Lions Cardinals. Not. This is an interesting game for me.
Yeah, we should have previewed
Out.
this game, but
Shootout. 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 But I got
I
the
feel like offense is a game. Marvin Harrison had a huge game last week. I'm pretty sure it's 4 receptions for 130 yards and a touchdown. He had 2 touchdowns. They were or one touchdown, I believe. It was really nice.
I got the Lions.
Give me the Cardinals at home.
Card.
Lions defense is suspect. Cardinals defense is suspect, but I think Kyler Murray is going to be a little too much for this Lions defense.
All right. Next
And the
game.
Lions had a trouble in the red zone.
They did. Next game. 49ers Rams. Niners.
Yeah, Niners easily.
Bang bang and Niner game.
And it's going to be a Niners home game. I mean, Rams never pack out that stadium.
Now we get into Sunday Night Football. Falcons and the Chiefs.
Da-na-na-na-na. Chiefs.
Chiefs.
It's not the Braves, it's the Chiefs.
I wish it was the Chiefs. I wish it was the Braves. Um, I want to pick them really bad.
Do it. I mean, it's gonna be a close game. It's not like it's like a big like you said they match up well. I mean, you might as well just pick the upset.
Falcons. I'm gonna
There you
do it.
go.
I'm gonna do it.
All right,
Monday
Monday
night.
night game,
Now for the doubleheader on Monday Night Football. Jaguars and the Bills.
Bills, Jags are just not good.
Bills. Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence has been sucky. Their defense is not as
Bills have
solid.
looked Bills have looked really good so far this year.
If the Bills, yeah, Bills on the other hand, they look really good. Josh
Coming.
Allen hasn't made any mistakes. He's playing clean football. I really think the Jags have had two games slip up, and now they should very well be a 1-1 at worst. They should be 2-0. I mean, they choked against
Now
the
they
Dolphins.
go. Now they go into Buffalo, take on the Bills.
Yeah,
Uh, and finally, Commanders and the 0-2 Bengals. I got the Bengals getting the first win
I have the Bengals big. I think Jamar Chase is about to have himself an absolute game.
against the Manual Forbes. He'd be going up against.
Yeah, and Saint Juice.
Yep.
And neither of those, if you would have just watched the Giants game, that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Because guess who had a big game? Malik Neighbors. And had a big game in the week one. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. They're not going to be able to stop Jamar Chase.
No, not at all. But I'm excited.
Yeah, should be another good week at the NFL, guys. I'll wrap up another episode of the Fourth and a Mile podcast. As always, we'll be back next week, recapping college and NFL. And I'm Nicholas Elliott, and this is JD's also, and we're clocking out.